Hello, you're watching Avenue X, and today let's talk about a recently started airing Chinese period web drama, 宴会时, The Glory. This is a 30 episodes drama that got airdropped on Tencent on March the 18th. Originally, it was named 贵女. Yet, literally on the day when they dropped the drama and aired it, they changed the title. The original title in Chinese, 贵女, means noble lady. And now the new title means the time when the wild swan comes back. What you do know is it did go through censorship, otherwise it wouldn't be airing, but the whole changing the title thing makes it kind of shrouded in mystery. Well, it is still ultimately the same drama. It is based on a web novel that was written actually over 10 years ago. 重生之贵女难求. It sounds very web novel. It does contain 贵女, noble lady, but the title actually tells you it's a rebirth story because 重生 means rebirth. And this is a very typical web novel thing in Chinese web novel land where you have a lead character who dies and gets reborn. The novel is written by Qian Shancha Ke. The story is relatively simple. It's talking about a noble lady who married, and on the night of her marriage, she got poisoned and died. And then she got sent back in time into the body of 12-year-old herself to relive her life, correct all the problems along the line so that she doesn't end up being murdered on her wedding night. If you've watched this drama already, you'll know it has serious adaptation. First, it gave it a quite specific time. Although in the drama up to this point, they haven't named the imperial family that rules this dynasty. But from everything you can see, it's clearly Ming Dynasty and it's clearly late Ming Dynasty. As I'm dressed today in a very typical late Ming Dynasty costume style, which is extremely unfriendly to short-necked people like me. High collar, this type of cutting at the front where it folds this way, very long robe and giant sleeves, very recognizable features of late Ming Dynasty female clothing. And in the drama, you'll see most of the female characters wearing this style. Now let's get back to the drama itself. Drama is led by Chen Duling and Xin Yunlai. It also features Wen Zhengrong, Yu Entai, Wang Yan. The drama is 30 episodes in total and it has already aired 17 episodes, and I've watched 17 episodes. As they adapt the story from the original web novel, they changed a lot of settings. For example, our female lead character, Zhong Hanyan, played by Chen Duling, this time is not a reborn character. And she was almost like born with a curse type of situation and got sent away as a baby, far away from her capital city official family home. And she spent 17 years there, getting mistreated, but still managed to survive. And then by the time that she's 17 years old, she managed to get herself back into the capital, into her family, meeting all her blood relatives that she actually has never met before and who all treated her very nastily. The male lead character, Fu Yunxi, played by Xin Yunlai in the drama version, basically is her elder sister's husband. Although her elder sister has passed away for quite a long time, he and her sister had a child with quotation mark. I'm 99% sure by the end of the drama you'll find out it's not actually his biological kid. And that's our sort of starting point of our main characters. Very kindly, I'll give it a neutral score, which is let my / go my. There are parts of the drama that definitely is on the positive end and it has done quite well and probably better than a lot of other Chinese period dramas. But then this drama definitely has a lot of epic landmines. Let's start with two things that I can think of that I would say this drama has done quite well and maybe better than a lot of other dramas. Point number one, its texture is pretty nice in terms of not looking super cheap and unrealistically idolized or beautified, as a lot of idol period drama would have everything lit up really, really brightly, completely skin smooth everyone, having way too much filter, has no detail, no dark, no contrast, no night and day difference, and just looking ugly. This drama actually looks quite pretty. Its lighting, its color, its control of contrast, its costume design, for example, particularly for females. So visually, at least, it's a pretty enjoyable period drama. The second thing I would say is, although I don't think it is the strength of the drama, but from audience's perspective, if you are in the drama for a particular purpose, this drama would give you that, which is completely ignore logic, just going in for very quick, short pulses of exciting plot twist. That's actually not clever and does not link up logically, but just say for that 3 minutes, you see this fight going on between characters on screen in a way exhilarating, somehow still provide a level of entertainment value. If that's what you're looking for, this drama has plenty of that. Those are the only good things I can say about this drama. Now let's go into Avenue X's ranting mode about what's not good about this drama, which is like 80% of its everything. Point number one, the most important point in terms of why I don't think this drama can succeed and it's not getting very good responses, and most people would complain about this drama. This is the first thing they complain, and it's absolutely reasonable. Wrong casting choice for the male lead. Xin Yunlai cannot act. An actor who is so expressionless that honestly they could just 3D scan his face and keep that one expression and then paste it over everything. Tell him not to come on set and shoot it because it would make no difference and they will save quite a bit money. Just want to CG or AI his face into everything. It would look exactly the same. Famous for being wooden actors such as Song Weilong, at least he's good looking. And this drama is not having eye candy, not having any workable acting coming from the male lead actor. His character is actually highly typically can make female audiences really like him type of character setup in period dramas. Just think about pretty much end of last year, Tencent's drama Blossom, Li Yunrui's character. 80% overlapping in terms of their vibe, yet Xin Yunlai completely blew it. He's the most void character I've seen in recent years. In terms of his being on screen for that much time, but not even 1 second of his presence actually led to any result. Everyone I know in Dramaland review that I actually have contact with, we all share the same opinion, which is had this character being casted, right, and then played by any other actors, it would look better. I said on my Weibo, if it's Zheng Yecheng, Chen Xingxu, Wang Xingyue, or Wu Lei, right, just pick these guys, randomly pick anyone. It would have worked so much better. I call him the number 0 that's behind the multiply mark. Everybody's hard work, from costume department to direction to writing to all the other actors acting, all lumped together in this drama, is a number before the multiplication. But here's the 0. Everybody ran into him and they disappear. Their value and their hard work becomes nothing. This is how bad his presence in the drama is. Although this drama has a lot of other sins, but if he's like actually functional, at least there's parts of the drama you can still say salvageable. But unfortunately, we don't have that, so it's just unfortunate that this drama ended up with him. Okay, so let's talk about other things about this drama that I have problems with. Mainly 2 huge points that I have problems with this drama, although if you want to further divide, there actually could be more points, but I will just summarize. Second point, what makes this drama not that watchable is it does not have logic. One short example is earlier in this drama, when our female lead go back to capital, and she has a long-time friend and teacher during the 17 years when she was basically casted away. And this girl is a Kung Fu master, and she's also saved by our female lead. So she becomes kind of, I will die for you, kind of loyal warrior. The thing that just makes it really funny every time it shows up is once our female lead got established in her home in the capital city, and she has her little living place, outside of her window, there's this small part of her garden that like turns around in the corner. So every time she needs to secretly get in contact with her shifu, she would signal her. The magical shifu will just show up. They've had so many things earlier part in this drama where they're secretly discussing things they definitely don't want other people to hear. And she's inside of the room and the shifu is outside the window and they're just talking. It's almost like there is a invisible protective shield that's around that physical space. As long as they need it to function, it functions, and no one would accidentally walk in, no one would overhear. Somehow, outside of her window, those couple of square meters of space is completely their secret other dimensional space nobody can walk in. And the drama often does not even bother to set up any type of, they made sure nobody would come in and then they talk to each other. Any leading setting up shots about that space and its relationship with other spaces and why the servants or anybody would not accidentally walk in on them. Like, it just never gets that set up. And it ended up being this secret and funny and functional but like not logical space. The drama kind of gave up on explaining how that works. Then there is a plot around episode 11, 12, 13. First huge plot in this drama where basically everybody's life is kind of threatened. And our female lead has gotten the biggest challenge up to the point of the plot, and she has to take on the responsibility of saving everybody of her family because they're all about to get beheaded like next day. At first, how they ended up in the situation is kind of not making sense logically. From the moment her family got incarcerated to the moment that they will get beheaded, maximum 24 hours. Our female lead completed a whole sequences of things that, in my opinion, even if you don't sleep and don't eat and have the luckiest luck of getting all the things sorted out, probably gonna take 3 days. Yet she got it all completed within 24 hours, including have a short conversation with the male lead, go to the jail, meeting her father, got out of the jail, found an old maid who used to be just dealing with selling slaves and stuff, sold herself, obviously like in plan with this old maid, to a aristocrat's family and pretending to be a maid so that she can approach that aristocrat's wife and then got information from her. And literally she just let her know who she is. I'm not your maid. I just like kind of infiltrated your household for this reason. Tell me your information. And that lady just like happily told her, and then she got out. She got this information, meet the male lead again. In their conversation, skillfully stole his permit to go to certain places and meet certain people and proving his identity, then got out of the house before he realized it, went to his working place, used male lead's subordinates' help to get what she wants to do and get them to an outskirt of the city's place where the male lead did find out not so long after she left that she has stolen his permit. He chased her down and they met in that little hut in the outskirts of the city, and they talked and he drugged her and she fell asleep. And she woke up the next day, but before she fell asleep, she had a conversation. So she went to a place where she knows already, like there are bamboo trees, and in the middle of it, supposedly under the ground, is a hidden body. She had no tools. She dug the body out with her fingers. It's winter. And it's been snowing. Anybody who's lived in a cold place, okay, you know like soil and digging and winter and what it means. And magically there's like a on wheels, like a plank, like a very simple form of transportation. It just showed up nowhere. She got the body on that thing. She just dragged this thing from outskirts of presumably capital, which would be Beijing, outside of the city, all the way into the city, and then just in time to catch the beheading to save her whole family. Not to mention, actually, the fact that she has that body actually does not prove her family's innocence at all. Again, if you watch the drama, you'll know, but it's too much explanation. So anyway, what I mean is all these things happened within 24 hours. I just feel the scriptwriters have no idea about how three-dimensional space and physics and the world and time works. It's like they've never lived on our planet. You're talking about a girl who's taller than me, yeah, but she's a lot skinnier, okay? And then even if I assume because she grows up under very difficult situations, she's stronger than normal, you're still not making sense for her to using her fingers to dig out an adult male body that's buried under winter soil. And before that, so much has happened and she already spent the night completely drugged out. She woke up and she did this and she dragged the whole body from like miles away by herself into the city. You can finish doing that in 24 hours, you should get a Guinness World Record. I happen to have done landscape architecture and I happen to work on multiple projects where I had to physically actually do all the soil work, rows of sod, lay them out using shovels, but also because it's too much physical work and our whole team of like 6-7 adult people just cannot even think about doing that by our hands because we need to make a mound of soil. So we had to get a bobcat, an official bobcat guy who's really good at doing his job, to come on our site for like 2 solid days to just get a tiny mound of soil and gravels built. Like that's how hard soil-related work really is, even when you have contemporary machinery. You're talking about a girl who doesn't even have a shovel and who's digging a body in winter. Like she has a couple of hours to do it. And she has to get the body physically on something and transport that by her manual labor all the way into the city. She did faint, but it's more like emotionally you need her to faint at the last moment instead of like actually she's dying of exhaustion. This is just one plot of like one episode. And pretty much every episode contains a level of, you're gonna have to hypnotize yourself so hard to actually make yourself believe in anything this drama tells you. To an extent, I could say that that's actually fun. If you really have too much time on your hand and you don't know how to burn it, then I mean, watching this is almost like whack-a-mole. Whack all the illogical modes of this drama is pretty fun. Third point, which is so far this drama has given me the impression by all the character setups and their functions and what they do. It is so 血统论. It is so about bloodline, about your pedigree, about your birth. The higher your birth in a societal sort of ranking system, the better you are a person. Not only are you prettier, you're also supposed to be morally superior, intellectualized better. Basically, this is so not China. It is actually against what has been going on in China for thousands of years actually, which is we do not actually believe in bloodline. We believe in your personal merits. Yet this drama, everybody who is good is a highborn, and then everybody who is nasty, who is a bad person, laughable and pathetic are lowborn. Or like you don't know where they're coming from, but then because they are our lead character's enemy, therefore they inhabit all the worst kind of qualities of a human being. Maybe that's why they changed the title, 贵女, the noble lady, because it would be too in your face and too stinky to comb through all the characters. For example, our lead character, obviously she's the good guy, otherwise she's not gonna be there. She is a noble lady because she's got a noble lady mother. Her mother is the daughter of a very high official and very well educated, sort of like a top scholar of the nation, but got wronged in a way, so her whole family got destroyed. But she, before that happened, was the most popular noble lady in the capital because she's pretty, she's from such a high official background, she's well educated, the society's most sought after debutante of that era. Because her family got wrong, she married our female lead's father. Supposedly in the story, they set her up as this very sad victim, but she is ultimately a good person and a noble lady. She's also the official wife of this husband. So in the ranking of things, she's the proper wife, and then our female lead is the proper wife's child. Therefore, she is our female lead character. She's pretty, she's clever, she's intelligent. Even though she spent 17 years on the coast and eating shit and being treated like animals by her adopted parents, still she managed to learn all the things she needs to learn. She's literate, and the drama actually gave you an excuse about how she got learned in that way, and it's pretty funny. But anyway, she still gets the best somehow everything, and just because she's. And if you want to see comparison, she's got two siblings who are born of a concubine of her father's, who actually married into the father's family earlier than her mother, but because she is a probably not so highborn person, and she entered that Zhuang family as a concubine. So she always is a concubine, and concubine is not the proper wife. Her children in the drama, who are just the most typical dumb, rude, uneducated, selfish, noisy, trouble for lead characters' typical supporting roles. These two are set up so much as characters and as bad in all the conveniently for the plot way for our female lead to shine. Basically, they're born out of a lower mother, therefore they are lower characters. And if you look at our female lead's father, he is at this point still not 100% out in terms of who he really is, but he is a bad guy, has a very secretive background. You're gonna find out eventually. That makes him basically cannot really be a highborn person, otherwise he wouldn't be used by the bad people to do the biddings for them. So it's pretty easy to assume that dad, although we don't know exactly where he comes from, he probably doesn't come from a very highborn background. And even his mother, which we assume now, the grandmother of the family, probably is really his biological mother. Like from episode 1, you know, like this old lady has no education background. She actually acts in a rather uneducated way, and then she has no integrity. She's easily manipulated. She probably is not bad, but she's kind of like useless. And again, that is to do with bloodline, right? She's not highborn enough, not well educated enough, or whatever class of the society enough. And then there's one good guy, which is played by Huang Haibing. He used to be Xiao Xianrou in Chinese drama many years ago. Anyway, this guy, you've seen him so many times. He's the good guy. He used to be the perfect match for female lead's mother, but they didn't end up together. And in this drama, he also is like one of those good families kid who's officials and then well educated. And in this drama, he represents on the male side, the integrity, the goodness, in contrast to female lead's father's bad. If you look at our male lead character, to make it even worse is, at this point you don't know yet who he really is because he got adopted into his family. So he's not actually a fool. He could be something else. And the drama hasn't actually told you exactly what's his real birth. But by the time they tell you, I can now predict another high-born person. Either he's an aristocrat, even if he doesn't share the family name of the imperial Zhu name of Ming Dynasty. Even if he is not that high, he probably is a different surname Wang's descendant. Some very highborn, like even if it's not aristocrat, he probably is like a high official. Anyway, like he cannot possibly be coming from a bad family background. No way. Just look at how they set up the whole thing. Even his daughter, which in this drama supposedly is the daughter of him and female lead's sister, I guarantee you by the end of the drama you're gonna find out it's not actually his biological kid, because the kid comes from whatever family that needs to be protected, and probably at the end of it they want to make the male lead and the female lead, when they marry each other, they're both virgins. He's like running towards his 30s and he probably is still a virgin. Why? I don't know, because it makes it easy for female audiences to dream on. We shall see. I don't know actually. I haven't read a novel, and even the novel exists, it does not mean they would adapt it the same way. So you actually don't know until you actually see it, unless some people out there have already read the script, so they would know. But I have no idea, and I honestly don't quite care. But I'm guessing most likely the kid is not his biological kid. And then he is also not a normal person. Got his identity hidden up by his parents because it's involved in some old cases of conspiracies and court politics, and let's just see it at the end. It definitely is gonna go down that route. There's no way that he comes from nowhere and he's nobody. No way, okay? Because so far this drama has been so consistent about highborn equals high morality, equals superiority in every department, equals worthy of being the lead, and then lowborn are the troublemakers, the bad people. It just feels so exhilarating to see that in 2025. Bloodline literally determines your percentage of goodness. Holy shit. I've watched it till episode 17, and pretty much every reason I can think of to keep myself watching this drama, I have exhausted them completely. After making this video, probably will not check out this drama. It's further episodes anymore, and there's only 13 left. On social media, they definitely are gonna scream about what plot happens later. I mean, pretty much I'm sure that the mother is gonna die, the Yu Wen character, Huang Haibing, is gonna die, the dad is a bad guy, but he's gonna got found out. For sure. A couple of like episodes is going to be talking about the court politics, because we already see Li Sheng's character, the concubine, sort of showed up. She has a plot line behind that that's going to go into the court politics and probably dragging our male lead into it, because his background and his identity secret hasn't been revealed yet. But eventually our lead's going to win, and they're going to climb to the top of that society's whatever ladder, and then obviously our female lead is going to eventually finally getting 贵女 title, like really becoming a noble lady. I mean, she's got like in trailers a shot of herself wearing this costume that basically means she either is like a wife of a very high level official or even aristocrat. Otherwise you wouldn't get that pattern on your clothing. And so I kind of already know how the drama is going to go down, although I don't know the details, and probably it's not really that relevant. In conclusion, on the drama making technical side, this drama is an F in the writing department because it does not make sense, right? And in the department of, say, do you have messages behind the story beyond the obvious? What is, let's say, the perspective of the creators and what kind of values they're holding? This is the type of thing, if I'm a teacher, I would put into a lecture and then use it as example of like how you should not write a story in 2020s. I've said everything I can think of after watching 17 episodes, and definitely not going back to watch all the rest. Thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.